Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, the site where we solve Sudoku puzzles every day with a few extra rules normally. We have a bunch of apps dedicated to puzzles with some of these very basic rules. We have Arrow Sudoku and Thermo Sudoku and Classic Sudoku and Chess Miracle. We have, what are the other two? Killer Sudoku, of course, and one other. Arrow and Thermo, I don't know, one other. Anyway, they're all on the links under the video, but none of them feature the rule in today's puzzle, which is German whispers, sometimes called whispers or Chinese whispers. Anyway, we will have a look at that in a moment. We are also streaming our attempt to get through the video game Baba Is You as well. Simon and I working together on that. We had a go on Tuesday night and we'll be back at the weekend at some point, I would think. So we'll let you know both in a community post and in a video. What else is going on? Well, there was our 400,000 video where we answered some questions about ourselves and the channel, and a Patreon tough prize puzzle for the month, padlocked. Well, a whole set of puzzles, lockout lines based, an intriguing set of puzzles by the Discord community, some of the best setters there. That's available on Patreon as well. You can join our Patreon for $2 a month and get the extra content. For $3 a month, you get to see the videos where we solve it. I think last month, 6x6x6 by Sam Cappleman-Lynes, the solve video was quite popular. So that is all available there. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Now, last time, Testarossa sent us a puzzle. It was very difficult. So I look at this with some trepidation. It's called Happy Birthday Muffin, and Testarossa didn't mention anyone's birthday. I did some birthday acknowledgements yesterday. I think this is probably just because the lines are in a sort of muffin shape. But maybe he's commemorating someone's birthday. Anyway, let's have a look at what the rules are. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The cage, there's only one cage. It shows its sum, so those two digits add up to 9. Digits next to each other on a line have a difference of at least 5. Now, in Testarossa's version, the lines were both purple, but I think that made them difficult to see. So I've made one purple and one green, but the same rule applies throughout. Any two digits next to each other on the line, so these two, say, have a difference of at least 5. And this is the rule called German whispers. Now, I don't know, it's a fascinating looking puzzle that, to me, doesn't look enough to solve the puzzle, but presumably it is. Do have a go. I think this is going to be hard. And I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Right, okay, well, what we've got to do, I think, is to separate high and low digits. Now, I don't know which are high and I don't know which are low, but what I do know about a German whispers line is, first of all, it never has 5 on it, because 5, the difference from 5 takes you either to 0 or 10, which are not Sudoku digits. But it also alternates between digits that are higher than 5 and digits that are lower than 5. So let's mark all the alternating lines, all the alternating cells on the big line to start with. So those all have to be one, I want to call it a parity, but one either high or low. And I suppose the same is true there. And then we can mark the others in another colour, and I'll go orange. And it would be lovely if it turns out that orange is high and blue is low, which would be the kind of thermometer based version of orange and blue, which I think makes sense, but it may turn out to be the other way around. So I think we've got all of that colouring done, but we don't know whether orange is high or orange is low. Oh, I was going to say we haven't got anywhere where there are 4 in a row or box, but we have. We've got 4 oranges here in box 4. And that means the other cells are either blue or the number 5, which doesn't have a colour. Oh, hang on. There's also column 2. So I'm going to mark them blue or grey. Here in column 2, we've also got 4 oranges. So the others are blue or 5. Oh, and in box 2, we've got 4 blues. So the others are either orange or 5. Are there any other 4s that I can't see? I won't know because I can't see them. This column has now, it's now got 4, well, it has 4 blues. So the others are orange or grey. I don't know that this shading is actually very helpful. I mean, it hasn't really increased my understanding of it. I'm going to take it out. I don't really believe in it. Sorry. Let's go back to there where we've got highs and lows coloured. It's finally occurred to me, this whole thing is symmetrical about this axis, with 2 exceptions in this puzzle. One is this extra, like, 3 cells up here. And they spoil the symmetry around that axis, which makes the whole puzzle reversible, but they won't decide whether orange is high or blue is high. And what I mean by that is, imagine that these numbers were, I don't know, 2, 7, 1. If that turned out to be right, you could just as easily make the puzzle work with 8, 3, 9. And what I've done there is subtracted the number in each case from 10, and this will still work. And what I mean by that is that we just won't have any way of determining which is high and which is low. There are no given digits except this cage. And I mean, it's 9. That's got 4 possible fills. That won't come in till the end of the puzzle. You see, if I could establish that this end of the line was 6 or 4, and I'll come back to that in a moment, there is a chance that I can, then I could fill in 6 or 4, and that would make this 1 or 9. I'll explain this in a minute. But I will never know which is high or low till I can get this cage resolved, and that's going to be late. And I think what I might do, and I don't consider this bifurcation, I consider this a sort of placeholding. I'm going to treat orange as high and blue as low, and fill the grid in, if I can, like that, and be prepared, if I then discover that this makes it, that I have it the wrong way round, to subtract everything from 10. And still have a valid fill. That's what I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to think about is this business with 6s and 4s. Now we've said that 5s can't be on the line. So 5s are in white cells in this grid, and I don't think that's particularly useful at the moment. But what we need to think about is, where do 6s and 4s go? And the reason I say that is because there are certain cells on this line where 6s and 4s cannot go, and I will highlight them and then tell you why I believe that. And that is because a 6 on a German whispers line has to be next to a 1. The only Sudoku digit that is 5 number that has a difference of 5 or more from 6 is 1. And the same works the other way round. You subtract 10, and the same works for 4, which subtract from 10, I mean. The same works for 4, whose only neighbour can be a 9. So that's the point. So I'm going to give these a bit of colour. So those cells cannot contain 6 or 4, and that might help us work out where 6 or 4 are. Now, the reason, for instance, that this cell can't contain 6 or 4 is it's surrounded by 2 cells that see each other. So they can't both be 1. or 9 if it was a 4. And that always works. Even here that works because these are in the same box. Here that doesn't work because those could be the same digit. This one I've also coloured because that is seeing these two digits, or it's next to these two digits which see each other, so they can't both be 1s. So this can't be, again, a 6 or a 9 or a 4. 6 or 4 can always be on the end of a line, and they can be where a line has gone into another box often, not always. For instance, that one is on a box boundary, but that sees those two cells. But most of the ones that are on a box boundary could see 2 of the same. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's work out. Right, I'm treating orange as high. I've said that. So I'm looking for where can 9 go. And this is the box which has 4 oranges. 9 can't be here. Actually, I should have coloured that. I didn't really do this green line. Let's colour those. I think that's all I can colour on the green line. Right, so one of these two is a 9 because we know that these 4 digits are 9876. Remember, I'm not going to say it again after this. I'm treating 9 as a placeholder for 9 or 1. But anyway, one of those two has to be 9 because we know that 9876 are there. Now, what else do we get? Nothing. Is that seriously true? We've got this 4 group. Now 9 can't be here and it can't be here. Surely that can be a 9 at the top, but can this be a 9? If this was a 9, yeah, it can be. I don't see why. I mean, 9s are very unrestrained. Okay. But there seems no way to break into this puzzle. Up here, light. Right, this is better for the blues. Those 3 cannot be the extreme number. So they can't be... It's not 9. Sorry, it's not 9 at all. It's 6 that has to be in one of those two cells. I've lost my mind. Right, yeah. That's really weird that the extreme numbers are kind of in the middle of the sets of 1 to 9. Right, none of those can be a 4. That can't be a 4 because they'd both have to be a 9. That can't be a 4 because they'd both have to be a 9. That can't be a 4 because they'd both have to be a 9. So that's a 4. That is absolute fact. And of course it's not fact because it's a placeholder for 4 or 6. But that needs a 9 next to it both sides. Right, now, so this is a 1, 2, 3 set, which is and this cell sees each of 1, 2, and 3 on a line. So that has to be 8, because one of the digits it sees is a 3, it's not a 9, so that's an 8. We've got a 5, 6, 7 triple. This one is 1, 2, or 3 as well, because it can't be 4 now. Now, has that taught us anything that we can use? These could be 6s. Now, these can't be 9s, so they're from 6, 7, and 8. Same is true there. That one as well. I don't think that's very helpful. Can I? Oh, okay. Now, if I'd been working with this as 6s, yes, look, this cannot be a 6. Row 7, column 2 can't be a 6. And the reason for that is really interesting, actually, because that would put a 1 in both of those places. And that's really important in this box, because wherever 6 is in this box, it's going to be next to 1. That if that's a 6, that would have to be a 1. If that's a 6, that would have to be a 1. One of them has to be a 6. So one of these is a 1, and a 6 there would make this be a 1, which would ensure that the 6 was here. But now you'd have 6 here, and you'd have to have 1 in both of those positions. I'll just show you that, sorry. So what I'm saying is, whichever one of these is a 6 must have a 1 next to it. So that's a valid pencil mark. If this cell was a 6, and I'm considering column 2 here, if this cell was a 6, this would have to be a 1. So would that, because 6 is always next to 1. Now, this couldn't be a 1, so this wouldn't be a 6. It couldn't be anymore. So 6 would be here, and now this cell's impossible. And that's rather pretty, actually. So this cell is not a 6. And we know then that the 6 in column 2, which has 4 orange cells, 3 of them cannot be a 6, so that one is. Wow, this puzzle is complicated. Right, we get a 1 there. I'm not sure that's going to actually achieve anything. Yes, it is. It's looking at that cell, so that's not the 1. So this is the 1, and that means the 6 in the box has to be there, not there. And now this has to be 6 because these are blue. 6 is always orange. So the 6 in column 3 is there. This is not a 6. Oh, sorry. Row 9, column 6 is not a 6. Still, I might as well colour that. Still remembering all the while that these are placeholder numbers for 6 is a placeholder for 6 and 4, for instance. Right. Okay, these ones are now 7, 8, and 9. This must be a 2 because one of the numbers it sees on the line is a 7. This is 7, 8, or 9. Accordingly, these are a 3 and 4, but this can't be 4. Yes. 4 there, 3 there, 9 there. This can't be 9. This one is 7 or 8. No, it can't be 7 because it's next to 3. So that's 8. That's 7. These can't be 7. They're an 8, 9 pair. That makes this one 7. 5 there. We've placed a 5. Those two are both high now. This one we can do. That's a 5 as well. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple. What's this? Oh, it touches a 6. I could have put that in ages ago. That's a 1. This sees an 8 already, so that is a 9 because it has to be 5 away from 3. So the other 9's in column 5 is in one of those two cells. This one could be anything out of 1, 2, 3, or 4. It can't be 4 anymore because this can't be a 9. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. Don't think that helps. 9's down in one of those two cells. This is 6, 7, or 8. So this can't be, these two can't be 4 now. So in fact that is 1 or 2. This is 2 or 3. Don't know about that or this. Don't know about this. They're from 2, 3, and 8. I mean, I don't know. Do I know? In this, if I was using, I don't really want to use that cage yet because that's just a confusing thing at the moment. I'm probably going to have to, but I'm going to have to choose the moment when I use that because we cannot rely on these numberings because this should perhaps say 9, 1, 6, in which this is different. So forget that that adds up to 9 for the moment. Ah, look, 9 is looking at that cell. There we go. 8 there. So that doesn't fix this. Does it fix this, which can't be 6? Yes, it does. That's a 9. Now by Sudoku, we get a 9 down there. These can't be 8. That's a 7, 6 pair, but this one can't be 7. It can't be 6, so that is 7. 6 there. Puts a 1 here. That can't be 1 now. There is a 1, but Oh yeah, these can both be 1, of course. In fact, that can't be 3 because it's next to a 7 on the line. Oh, I'm so slow at picking this out. That has to be 2 because it's next to 7, and that has to be 1, therefore. That's a 3. This is a 1-2 pair. That hasn't fixed this. This can't be 7 now. It's 6 or 8. This has to be a 2. So that can't be a 6. It's an 8. That still doesn't fix that one. Or this one. These two can't be 3. And this one can't be 1 either. That's become a 2. That's a 1. Doesn't resolve whether this is 7 or 8. I'm not sure. Yes, Sudoku does, because we've got an 8 there, an 8 there, and an 8 there. So that is an 8. Yes, Sudoku symmetrically fixes that. We've got 2, 2, and 2, so that's a 2. And now, I haven't resolved those, or those unsurprisingly symmetrically disposed cells, but I think everything else on all the lines is done. So I'm going to remove the yellow colouring because I just don't need it anymore, and it's a bit messy. There we go. Got my high-lows done as far as I can. I think, oh look, the 9 is fixed. I can place 9 there now. 1, yes, I can do 1 in row 5. That does fix the 2 and the 1. In fact, the 9 fixes the 8 and the 9. Everything on the lines is done. Does that literally... Okay, the rest is classic Sudoku apart from this. So I'm going to have a quick look to see if I can do anything else by classic Sudoku. And I suspect the answer is going to be not really. 4 and 8 in those two cells, which aren't resolved. That's 3 or 4. We've got... Oh, that's 3 or 4. We know where 9 goes in this box. There. So is that all 9s done? Yeah. 8s? No. That's not an 8. We can place 8 there. That must be an 8. 4 there. That fixes 3 and 4. Good grief, we can do a lot by good old classic. 3-5 pair up there. That can't be a 3. Oh, this is fixed. 5, 7. Look at that. Box 7 is done. 4 there. These can't be 4. I should have stopped a while ago, because if this 9 is going to make me on the wrong track, I'm going to have to change every digit in the grid by subtracting 10 from it. Oh, now I'm getting scared of that. I hadn't really given much thought to how laborious that's going to be. Right, let's have a look at the 9 cage, which cannot, if I'm doing the right version, if I've got blue as low correctly and orange as high, then this 9 can't be 1-8 or 4-5. It would have to be 2-7 or 3-6. Both of those look possible, irritatingly to me. No, hang on, 2. Look, I've got 4 2s looking in this box. Ah, here we go. 2 there. Right. Bingo. Bingalingalingo. Because if I had done this the wrong way round, if orange was going to turn out to be low, that 2 would be an 8. This would have to be a 1 to make up the numbers for the 9 cage, but it would clash with what would be a 1 here. So in fact, I have done this the right way round. Thank goodness. And this is a 7 to make... Oh, I had that highlighted. That's a 9. Right, that is a 7. We're on the right track now, and that's probably going... Well, it's obviously going to finish the puzzle, because that's all that's left to disambiguate anything. Got 4, 6, and 3. That's 3 or 4. That's 3 or 6. That's 3 or 4. 6 in the column has to be there. 4, 9, 2, 1, 8. So Oh, it's not that helpful. Let's have a look at column 8, which also isn't that helpful. Am I missing? Yes, 8 can go there. That is the final. I thought I highlighted the 8s. I must have missed that that one wasn't done. They're from 3, 5, and 7 in this row, the middle row. That's 3, 4, or 5, so we can place 6. Oh, and that doesn't let me finish off 6s. But that's 4 or 5. Ooh, that's giving me a pair in the row, so we can do 6 and 1. Now we can finish off 6s, strangely. Now, how have 1s gone? That's all of them. They're done. Okay. So I should have seen that earlier. This is a 3, 5 pair. We've got a useless triple there. 3, 4, and 7 to go here, but the end one can't be a 4. I might as well pencil mark these last 2 cells. Oh, and then I have to sit back and think. Is there something obvious here? I'm on the genuine solution path. This is definitely right now. I cannot see how these resolve. Hang on. This is a nasty little twist in the tail. If I'm going to have to find a Y-wing of some sort, or a colouring technique or something. If that's a 7, you get 7 there, that's fine. If that's a 7, that's fine. Oh, these 3 are all 4 or 5. I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, good grief. Look, 4 is confined to those cells. It can't be there, but 5 can be in all of them. Now, that's interesting because if this is 4, then the 4s in box, oh, that's gorgeous. The 4s in boxes, what's that, 5 and 9 go there. You can see the only places for 4s, let's just, I'm going to just corner mark the 4s in those boxes. Those are the only places 4s can go in boxes 5, 6, 8 and 9. If that is a 4, that puts a 4 there and a 4 there. And now where do you put a 4 in box 6? Can't go anywhere. Can't be in any of those places. That is a simple colouring, I think that's called. So that one becomes a 5 because it can't be a 4. And that will definitely allow us to finish, he says wildly confidently. But I think it will. I think it will. That can't be a 4 now. So now 4 does go in this corner, which I suppose is where it had to go once it couldn't go anywhere else in the box. That's a 3, 5 pair now. Is that right? Yes, it is. So this is where 7 is. That fixes the 3, 7 pair at the bottom. Now we can do 3 and 5 at the top. Now we can finish. Oh, we've only got 4 cells left after that. Wow, that is a lovely puzzle, but that is not easy at all. And as I say, you could get through that by pencil marking these sort of end cells and the places where 4 and 6 could be with the full 4, 6 pencil marking, 4, 6, 2, 8, and gradually reduce them. But I think this is the only sensible way to go about it, and then finding out that happily I had it right, that the blue numbers were low here. And I would have very happily gone and changed all the 10 minus, all the numbers I had to 10 minus whatever I'd put in to correct it, but that would have been laborious. I might have paused the video if I'd done that. Anyway, there we go. That is the solution to Happy Birthday Muffin by Testarossa. I mean, feel free to criticize that as bifurcation. I think of it as a placeholder solution, which I think is a very valid way of going about a puzzle as difficult as this, and I make no apology. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, as always, and hope to see you again on the channel tomorrow. Bye for now.